So back in 2021, Segway released their first RTK boundaryless robotic mower. Roll on a few years, we now have the I series, and I'm pretty excited to get this thing out of the box and see what it's all about. Now there is a huge amount of technology involved in RTK boundaryless robotic lawnmowers, and a lot of people are put off by the price, but if I was to say this machine in front of me costs £949, it begs the question why you buy a premium rotary mower or even a small ride-on to mow an area like this. Because the lawn area on our property is connected by a path. Now, two smaller areas which we would generally normally cut with a ride-on mower, but in today's video we're going to install that Navimow, tell you all about the features and how intelligent it really is. Look at this beauty, look at it. Oh! Quick, get it out. Look at that. First step is to get our base station installed. Now I'm not going to bore you to tears how to do this because it is very straightforward. But all you got to remember is the base station wants to be somewhere fairly open, so not too many trees, not too many walls or anything that's going to cover up that satellite frequency that's coming down to it. So we've got a nice suitable location here, relatively flat, it's fairly close to our power socket. So we're going to get it screwed down with 4 pegs, turn the mower on, put the antenna on, and then we're going to map our garden. Let's join up the cables. Now on the back of here you've got power and you've got antenna. One's got 2 prongs and one's got 5. So just select the right cable for that connector. So this is our power, screw that up, we can then put that on the transformer, and same again with the antenna. Power's on, we have a flashing beacon, and now we have some power we can fit our exact fusion locating system. Sounds a bit snazzy. So what is EFLS? Well, it is an AI enhanced location system which provides centimetre accuracy. In simple terms, it's just a bloody good antennae and satellite navigation setup. And just like your base station, you want to make sure your antennae is in nice, clear space. So you put your 2-pronged fork in the ground that's supplied, then you post on, and then your antenna can just slot on the top. As simple as that. And when you turn the machine on, if you feel it hasn't got enough signal, you can obviously use the wall mounting kit that you can get for this machine to put that antennae up on the side of your house. Now that took me less than 5 minutes to set this machine up, ready for mapping, and that is the fun bit. To drive that machine around your garden like an RC car, and a red light is changed to a blue light. Open up the Navimow app, add device, I series. Press the OK button to power on the mower, done that. Ambient light after 60 seconds, tick. The mower is powered on. There we go, come up with my mower. Okay, listen. Oh, it talks! Love a mower that talks. So now it's asked me time, date, that sort of stuff, language. Setting a pin, so I've done my pin. Very straightforward, very easy to use controls. So let's create a map. There we go. It is off. It is off. We have a mower that's going to drive around the edge of the lawn. Just calibrating at the moment. 85%, 90, here we go, 100%, calibration successful. Right, let's get, I just feel like I don't want to map the garden at the moment, I just want to drive it around and just have some fun with it. I might do a bit of off-roading actually, because there's a bit of the lawn just up here, the link between the 2 garden areas, which we don't know if we're going to have to do a bit of landscaping on, because it's got a fair ridge up there, but this machine's got some like pretty nifty wheels on there, so it might go up over. Let's have a look, give it a go, shall we? Bah, bah. Oh, look at it, it went over. It's probably not the right thing, but it did go over. So here's our secondary lawn area. Let's get mapping, and we're off. Bah. Only one word of advice when mapping a garden. Now I've done a few of these Segway Navimows before, but it's just stay behind the machine because it's easier to control with the controls on the screen then. And again, just using the app, joystick controls, Right, so I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, because what I want to do is create 2 different zones. So this one area here is going to be the first area, and the garden back there is going to be the second area. Now, I've already driven it up there, but there's a handy feature on the Navimow app where I can just press the eraser button and the mower will actually track back the route it's already taken. So if you mess up on the edge of your lawn, just press the eraser button, it will then go all the way back to where it needs to be, and then you can carry on. Handy little feature. Look at that. Right, the other thing this machine has got is it's got that vision fence on the front of it. Now that is a camera, an AI camera. And what it does is it picks up obstacles on the lawn, or if you're going out of, say, satellite signal under canopies of trees, it actually maps the garden in 3D, so it learns it. How intelligent is that? Now, as I'm driving around the garden area as well, it's kind of mapping the lawn for me. So it's actually, if it finds an obstacle, it will actually read that and put it into its memory. And that is one of the things why Segway is one of the top RTK mowers on the market. Now on here it says approaching starting area. So I'm going to drive it over the base station, and now I'm going to click done. Zone 1 complete. Let's do zone 2. Right, so let's go from zone 1 to what we will call zone 2. See if our little bit of landscaping work is done. We made a little ramp for it to go over. Lovely, beautiful. Now we'll map zone 2. And the reason we're going to keep them separate is because obviously that area there, it's got that step and that ramp going out over. And what we don't want to do is we don't want it to be cutting any areas like garden paths or anything like that. You just want it to focus in on the grass area. So let's map zone 2, link them up with a corridor, and then we'll get it mowing. Right, so you can see I've got both zones now marked out. So I've got zone 1, the little small one we started on, and now zone 2. And you can see I've got 0.124 acres with a maximum of 0.15 acres. So I'm within parameter, which is good because I didn't actually map the garden or find out how big the area was before we started. But that is one thing you should do, obviously, before you do that. Now this is the 105, they do a 108. 105 standing for 500 metre squared capacity. The 108, 800 metres squared capacity. So if this one's not big enough, have a look at the bigger one. Right, so now the app is telling me I have got an isolated zone because the charging station is in zone 1. This is where I need to make my channel. So I'm going to create channel and drive the mower from here to there. It's like a little obstacle course for this mower, isn't it? Up and over. Done. Okay. Corridor made. Simple as that. Now, I've got to do an out of go zone now. So that is where I might have like a border or a pond or something like that in the middle of the lawn, which I don't want the machine to drive into. So just like a boundary, I'll drive it around, map that, and then we're good to mow. Right, I'm going to make it go home. We're going to get it charged up. At this point, I can then change all the schedules, so times, days of the week I want it to mow. And there's also something called Doodle, which I've noticed on here, which we're going to have a look at that in a little bit. But let's see if this vision fence works. Look, it reacted to me. It knew I was in front of it. So if you've got kids playing on the lawn, dogs, pet animals, anything like that, you're not going to have an issue with this machine. We could properly confuse it now. No, let's get it charged up, and then we'll adjust the times and our dates and see what it can do. And it's going to self-dock and get it self-charging. Just a little bit of a push for good luck. Right, come check this out. This is this Doodle setting I was on about. So go into Doodle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go add Doodle, letters and numbers, and I'm going to put M, N, and I'm going to write this on the lawn. So let's move it into this way. I reckon that'd be quite cool. See what happens, shall we? And before we send it out, we're just going to adjust the height. I think we're going to put it down to 50 mil. I think 5 would probably mean 50 mil. So we'll get it topped off perhaps in the next 24 hours on that height, and then we can drop it down. Right, so now it's charging. I'm going to go into all the settings on here, go through them, change them all about, get it set for my garden and the times I want. Now I've just flicked on to the traction control system because we have got a bit of a sloping area just here and it can be a little bit wet, especially at this time of year. We've got a lot of rainfall at the moment. So I've actually turned that on to see what sort of difference that will make. So while I do this, I'm going to now tell you a little bit more about the features and what makes this machine so special. Now this is a Navimow doing its first cut and it's just going around the outside of the boundary to start off with. You can see it is chomping some grass. Now I've set it a little bit hard to start off with just to get it down, and then what we can do is we can bring the heights down so we're not leaving too much debris behind. Look at it go. Awesome bit of kit. And you'll notice that the machine is going in straight lines straight across the garden because it's got systematic mowing. So instead of bouncing around the garden willy-nilly, it goes backwards and forwards. Tech-wise, it's everything you'd expect from Segway. This mower is built with safety in mind and it has animal-friendly mode, so it can work day or night without disturbing pets or wildlife. It's also weather adaptive, connecting to real-time conditions and adjusting its schedule for different weather patterns. It works with smart home technology and the built-in 4G means you can check on it from anywhere, showing access with up to 5 users. It mows in smart, systematic, structured pattern for a clean and even cut, and the Vision Fence system uses AI and a 140-degree wide-angle lens to recognise over 150 different objects. This allows it to navigate safely and smoothly. Segway also boasts off-road style traction. It can handle slopes and tricky terrain. Finally, mowing is customizable through the app with just the press of a button. We left the Navimow cut in the 2 lawn areas for 7 days and you can certainly see a difference. Let's get up close and take a look at the lawn quality. Well, in this area here, in the smaller area, the grass was that much longer. It's been raining for the last 4 or 5 days and everything has just been absolutely sodden. There's a lot of thatch in this lawn. It has left a little bit of grass behind, but that's probably due to user error. I put the height of cut down too quickly, whereas I should have had it spread out over a couple of weeks and notch it down very, very small each time it goes out to mow. But oh my God, what a difference is made on that large lawn. So let's hop across and check that out. And this is where it gets really cool. So you know the doodle setting I showed you on the app earlier in the video? Look what it's produced. We have written MN, the logos for Machinery Nation, on our lawn. Not only that, look at the finish it's given. RTK, systematic mowing, and it's changed the angle on different days, so it's given us that lovely, smooth, even finish. Now behind me, I've got some uncut grass, and the reason behind this is when I initially went to map the lawn area, it wouldn't actually save it, and that's because the lawn was actually bigger than the capacity that the machine could do. So in hindsight, probably for this lawn area, I would have been better off with the i108, which does 800 meters squared, so it could take in the whole lawn area. And truthfully, I think Segway are missing a trick, because they haven't got a four-wheel drive machine in the range, and I mentioned that a couple of years ago when I reviewed the H-Series. Think of the possibilities of having a machine with four-wheel drive with the technology that Segway already has. And what about larger areas? Well, Segway do produce a vast range of robotics that will do bigger areas than the i-Series we've got in front of us. And one of those is the new X3, which we have got in storage waiting to be installed. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you subscribe to our channel and we'll bring you that content very shortly. We're Machinery Nation. We bring you product videos every week all about tools and machinery. If you enjoyed this sort of content, ding the notification bell, subscribe to the channel and give us a like, and let us know in the comments below what you think of this new machine. We dropped the video to my right hand side, which you might like, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!